Our next question comes from Cal Naughton Jr., who says, "Hey Ramsey, I have a question. I think you could give me an answer for it." Well, hey, that's what I'm here for. If you have questions, by the way, leave them in the comments down below, and I'll read them. I was wondering who would win in a no-rules street fight between someone trained in Hapkido and someone trained in BJJ. Let's pretend they're both the same level on health and fitness, and the same age, both black belts in their respective arts. Who would win? And he adds another comment, I have seen Hapkido techniques online that show ways to get off your back. But what would be illegal moves in BJJ, so I wonder what the outcome would be. Well, to answer your first question, just off the top of my head, I would pick Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Why? Because those guys actually spar. And not all Hapkido practitioners do. How do I know that? Because I've been privy to many Hapkido practices. That's why. Some of them do, some of them don't, but just off the top of my head, my gut-wrench reaction is the guys who actually get out there and train for real, the guys who spar, the guys who are familiar with what a resisting human body trying to hurt you feels like. Those are the guys with the highest chance of winning. Now, you asked about rules. Now, there are a bunch of different Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament organizations, and they have a bunch of different rule sets. So what's illegal? It depends on the organization. Now, your question was prefaced with, it's a no-rules street fight, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Anyway, the whole point of me answering this question is, it's not so much Style A versus Style B. It's about get out there and train, put it to the test, and then you're going to start to see what the weaknesses and the holes in your specific style are and how to fill them in. Next question. Our next question comes from Fred Brookley, who says, any tips on getting a faster Imanari roll? Yeah, a couple of things, and this might be a show, not tell sort of thing, so I'll put some clips up on the screen. But for a faster Imanari roll, you need two things. A faster entry, so you're going to have to shoot for it, very similar to a power double leg takedown. So you want to load up your quads as you level change and then shoot. And shoot with power the same way you do for that blast double. Now, on the actual entry for the Imanari roll, a big mistake I see some people have that affects them both positionally and speed-wise is grabbing the leg with the hand when what you should be trying to do is reach even deeper, get the crook of your elbow into the crook of their knee. And then that will allow you to pull with your arm. You're then going to pull your arm in, crunch your body in to make yourself smaller so you spin around faster. If you're bigger and wider, you'll be slower. If you crunch in and get smaller on the spin, you're going to go faster. It's very similar to, let's say, a figure skater when they spin around, or a ballerina when they do spins, right? Pirouettes, or whatever other spinning techniques they do. What do they do with the arms? They start wide, just like we're reaching for the leg, and then they come in narrow. They pull those arms in narrow, and they pull their core tight to make themselves smaller and increase the force of rotation. So, that's how you get a faster Imanari roll. Try that out. Flex, get small, reach up to the elbow, and shoot harder with your legs on the entry. Next question. Our next question comes from Mike, who says, I'm 35 years old, I'm a BJJ blue belt, I love the sport, but I've noticed lately, doing a lot of gi work, that my fingers have started to hurt from the grips that you need to maintain while rolling, like a lot. Even when I rest for a few days, there's still pain. It's not so bad that it stops me from training, but it is a nuisance. It never used to happen in my 20s. What do you do for joint pain? Do you ever experience this? Am I giving myself arthritis? Arthritis has a bunch of factors to it, many of which are hereditary. So, in some cases, if you're going to get it, you're going to get it. My mother had rheumatoid arthritis. I don't know if I inherited that, but I can totally understand where you're coming from, because I kind of hate working with the gi because it makes my hands hurt. Like a lot, just like you're saying. I'm 43, and I take a healthy dose of suck it up Buttercup, and I just get out there and train anyway, but my hands hurt. But I'll tell you something. that has exacerbated the problem, which is using a phone and scrolling around like this with my thumb on a phone, on a cell phone. And if you spend a lot of time on a cell phone doing movements like this over and over again, this is not good for your hands. It's really not. Like, holding a phone like that is very ergonomically incorrect. So you might want to check your phone time. In fact, if you have a smartphone like this, a lot of them can tell you exactly how much screen time you have had that day or that week or that month. And so check that. And if you got like 6 hours of screen time on your phone a day, maybe make some changes. But a more immediate solution, get yourself some tape. And if your fingers and your hands and your joints are giving you some problems, tape them up. There are a lot of simple ways to do that. If it's your wrist, put some tape on that. If it's your joint, put some tape on that. But before you put the tape on, flex hard, because if you put it on relaxed and then you flex, it's going to pinch and constrict blood flow particularly, and then your hand is going to fall asleep. So you don't want that. Before you apply any tape, flex and flex hard. You'll notice right here, the hand is less thick than when I flex, and then it gets thicker, right? So we want to put the tape on when the hand is flexed. So give that a try. Tape up your hands. You've probably seen some guys over at the gym. You've been there for a while. You're a blue belt already, who tape up their fingers, tape up their hands. If you don't know how to do it, pick their brains and say, hey, how do you do that? Why do you do that? Does this help? And that could help out your joint pain. And that's probably a better solution for you than mine of suck it up, Buttercup. But that's just me, because I'm a bit of a masochist. Thanks for watching, guys. Now get out there and train.